Here we're going to discuss the advantages and disadvantages of polymer use. Two sort of types of questions. Sometimes they ask you to compare them to other traditional materials like metals and wood, and then other times they just ask you for general advantages and disadvantages. So first we'll start with the first type of question. So we'll look at a comparison with metals. Now metals can corrode and rust, whereas polymers won't. Metals are good thermal conductors, while polymers are thermal insulators. So depending on the situation, that could be a positive or negative for polymers. Same thing here, electrical conductor for metals, but an insulator for polymers, depending on the situation, a good or bad thing. The metals, of course, are heavier, so the polymers have a low density advantage. Looking at the wood you can't really mold it. I mean, you can sort of cut it and try and sand it, but it doesn't get molded into a shape like polymers can be, so it's more easy to get these different types of shapes. The wood will rot, whereas your plastic will not rot. And now just going to the advantages in general. Modifiable properties. So in the other video we can modify by adding plasticizers, or we can modify by adding a volatile organic compound that sort of modifies the density and insulative properties of it. It's recyclable, it is cheap, it's chemically inert, it doesn't really do a lot of chemical reactions. You can store acid in plastics and polymers. You can get transparency, which is important for a lot of products, and it's non-toxic. Looking in general at the disadvantages, and I'm just putting it here beside, it's not actually belonging to wood, but it's non-renewable, so all of these ultimately come from the oil industry, so that's a non-renewable industry. It's non-biodegradable. Burning any of these polymers produces toxic fumes, as well as CO2, contributing to climate change. And then also the plastics can cause suffocation